All right, hello to you. Good afternoon. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shea. We've made it to the middle of October. Still about 1.5 months to go in the 2025 Atlantic Basin hurricane season. Do we have anything to worry about? Well, as of the last few minutes, at this point, the answer is no. We've gotten rid of our one tropical storm that we had out there spinning in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Lorenzo is gone. It didn't survive. It was looking pretty weak, pretty crippled there, but it basically ran into some very dry air and that kind of made it fall apart. So as of the 4 p.m. advisory, we are calling this the remnants of Lorenzo, and you can see it there. It struggled to survive. Like I said, the drier air kind of got wrapped up in it, and it was expected to last at least for another 24 hours or so, but it didn't even last that long. So not much going on with Lorenzo at this point. You can see that it still has maximum sustained winds around 35 miles per hour, moving to the northeast at 18 miles per hour, pressure up to 1,006 millibars. It's just going to stay out over the open water and continue to fall apart. So it's not going to be an issue for anyone as expected. So as we check out the remainder of the Atlantic Basin, of course, that is the Gulf, the Caribbean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean, nothing else out there to worry about at the moment. But it has been a fairly active season so far. We did have about a 3-week lull in the action, but we are now up to 12 named storms, 4 of those becoming hurricanes, and 3 of those becoming major hurricanes, and 2 of those major hurricanes were Category 5 hurricanes. So we have had some major action this season. We're still a few numbers back from our average number of named storms for this season. That's 14, a few back as well from the average number of hurricanes. We've had 4, average is 7, and we are tied with that number of major hurricanes, which is 3. So here are all of the names that we've used so far this season for these tropical systems that have popped up in the Atlantic Basin, from Andrea all the way down to Lorenzo. You can see all of the hurricanes. Those were Aaron, Gabrielle, Umberto, and Imelda, and the 2 Cat 5s, Aaron and Umberto. So the next name on the list would be Melissa, then Nestor. Will we have to worry about using those names? Well, right now we don't have to, but of course there's always the chance as long as we are still officially in our hurricane season. At this point, though, we no longer have Tropical Storm Lorenzo. Of course, that fell apart over the last hour, so no active tropical systems in the Atlantic Basin right now. The risk for the Texas Gulf Coast after today is extremely low. Typically, if we don't get anything by mid-October, it's a wrap. We don't have to worry about it. The chance is not 0, so we'll keep watching it, but it would be unprecedented for something like that to happen. But of course, there's always a very low shot. We're watching now for development in the Caribbean Sea and the Eastern Pacific due to the fact that we have what we call the Central American gyre going there. That pattern could maybe spin something up over the next few weeks. So we're looking at our tropical hazards outlook. This is for late October, October 22nd through October 28th. And at this point, there's a low to medium chance where you see the pink and the red for a tropical depression or tropical storm to pop up. This is going to be for a big chunk of the Caribbean, Eastern Pacific. Notice there's still a decent chance for some tropical action for much of the Caribbean Sea. So we are not out of the woods completely in the Atlantic Basin. Chances are going down day by day, but of course we are keeping a close eye on things. Water temps out there are still for sure warm enough to support tropical action. We've got temps still well into the 80s, so if we could get something going, there could be that shot for that rapid development or rapid intensification, because of course that warm water helps to fuel these tropical systems. At this point, though, nothing to worry about for the Gulf or the Caribbean, but this is that setup, the Central American gyre, and this is basically a very large area of low pressure that kind of spins this time of the year over Central America. It definitely produces some bursts of rain, rough surf, causes mudslides, but it could also aid in the formation of a tropical cyclone. So sometimes we see these smaller circulations kind of break off and spin away from the larger area of circulation, and those could turn into tropical systems. So nothing like that happening for the Gulf or for the Caribbean right now, but in the Eastern Pacific, we do have an area of concern. In fact, it's been named an area of investigation. It's Invest 91E. At this point, it has a medium chance to develop into a tropical depression or tropical storm. You can see the area of concern in orange, stretching from Guatemala City to just south of Acapulco in south and southwestern Mexico. So this disorganized area of showers and storms could become a tropical depression or tropical storm by the end of the work week, if not likely into the weekend, and it will likely bring some heavy rain, maybe some flood potential, and some gusty wind to southwest Mexico. So medium chance for development over the next 2 days, 40%. That jumps up to a 60% chance for development over the next week. So I'll put our GFS Futurecast into motion, and you can definitely see something that appears to be a tropical system getting stronger as we go into the weekend, passing just south of Acapulco, so bringing some heavy rain, brushing by, and then early next week passing south of Cabo. So we are going to be monitoring this closely, but it does not appear that it would take a turn and head towards the Gulf, likely heading away from Mexico as we go through the weekend into early next week. So we got about 2 more weeks to get through for the month of October. Notice there's still a low chance for development in the Gulf. It's possible, but not likely. There's a higher shot for parts of the Northwest Caribbean, western, central parts of the Atlantic. Still a low to medium chance there, but as we get into November, chances in the Gulf go really low, and we will still be watching, of course, the western Caribbean, eastern Pacific, western Atlantic. Well, bottom line, November chances are going down day by day, and I think for the Texas Gulf Coast, after today, chances, like I said, are extremely low. But of course, you can never say never. Things can always happen. We've had unprecedented things happen. So of course, keep checking back. There's always a risk. We've still got very warm water in the Gulf. And of course, if we see anything that is a problem, we will let you know. But so far, so good. Nothing to worry about from the tropics today, at least heading towards the Texas Gulf Coast. That's it for your tropical update for today. We'll have much more on Texas Live and Local after this.